Okay, folks, good evening. Welcome to night 2 of Startup Summit 2021. We are here with 2 competitions tonight. The first is the business concept competition. The second is new product 1. We're going to have a night of great pitches. This continues a week-long celebration of entrepreneurship and sharing of great ideas. Before we get started and introduce our fantastic judging panel, I have to thank our sponsors, BankTel Systems, Reed Food Technology in Jackson, and many other private donors that make this week possible to give over $30,000 away to competing entrepreneurs. We had 46 student entrepreneurial teams apply this week across the different divisions, and it's been a fantastic week so far, starting the second night. So to dive right in, we're going to introduce, we have 4 incredible judges with very different backgrounds across the Southeast, and I'm going to let them share a little bit about themselves. First, we'll start with Mr. Jason Henderson.
Oh, hey, good evening. I'm Jason Henderson. I live in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Birmingham Insurance Group. We are a specialty risk management firm, so all we do around the country is insurance programs for people that have real estate investment properties and property managers.
Thank you. Moving on to Virginia.
Yes, hi, I'm Virginia Trinkle. I am also in Birmingham, and I currently work at Shipt as a director of shopper operations. And I have been back in Birmingham for about 4 years. And before that, I was in Los Angeles for 15 years, working primarily in the entertainment industry.
Awesome, thank you. And Mr. Tony Jeff.
Yes, my name is Tony Jeff. I'm with Innovate Mississippi. So we work with early stage innovation technology companies. Mississippi State graduate, but had been all over. I had my own startup 25 years ago, and now I've been working with startups for about 18 years since coming back to the state.
Awesome, thanks, Tony. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Lee Harris.
Lee Harris. I'm a retired former regional chief financial officer for a company called Sims Metal Management, which was an Australian scrap metal company, the world's largest scrap metal company. And prior to that, I was with Bethlehem Steel and National Steel in Jackson, Mississippi, doing a startup on a hot dip galvanized and galvalume line. And just recently returned to Starkville, Mississippi, and have retired in the last month and a half.
Awesome, thank you, Lee. Okay, so we are ready to begin. Just a quick reminder of some of the ground rules tonight as presenters pitch. They will have 5 minutes for presentations, 3 minutes for Q&A from our judges. We ask that anybody who joins us online, you're welcome to ask questions in the YouTube chat window. If we get a chance to get to them, we'll get to them. Otherwise, we'll reserve the Q&A exclusively for our highly qualified panel here. So without further ado, we'll dive into our first presentation. Monique, when you're ready, feel free to unmute and take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen. One moment. Imagine you are a meteorologist right in the heart of the element. Winds blowing, sun shining, few clouds in the sky, and a young girl runs right up to you, her finger right in your face, and says, "I want to be just like you when I grow up." Well, that's my story. My name is Monique Robinson, and I am the founder of Chasing Rainbows. This startup will teach, build, and inspire future generations of Black meteorologists. The problem is, there aren't enough of us. Black meteorologists are underrepresented in the news industry, and there are no meteorology preparatory programs for Black students that are not affiliated with educational institutions. And with COVID, the decline of in-person internships reduces the likelihood of mentorship. So let's take a look at the numbers here. Back in 2017, the most recent report, around 25 Black or African-American students earned a meteorology degree. Looking at the racial breakdown here, whites dominate the field, and you can see that whenever you're looking at your television screen. So here's a look at the solution. a web platform that will offer emerging Black professionals monthly workshops, access to monthly newsletters, and consultation sessions. Where did it all begin? Well, back in 2017, I started the first broadcast meteorology club at the University of Maryland. I then was able to graduate as the first dual degree student in the university's 200+ year history in broadcast journalism and atmospheric and oceanic science. Made my way down the coastline to North Carolina, where I earned 2 Associated Press Awards for my coverage in hurricanes, as well as my storytelling on the Black pioneers of meteorology. Combining my master's program studies here at Mississippi State University and the lessons I learned in the classroom, I started virtual panel discussions. First of which, inspiring Black female meteorologists to weather storms. And then I hosted another one, inspiring future Black meteorologists, where I have current meteorologists who are in the field working on the front line as my panelists. So here's the business model. First, the student package, including monthly workshops and monthly newsletters. Then the Student Plus package, which also includes quarterly conversations. And then the institution package, which includes workshops, speaking engagements, and discounted Student Plus memberships for institutions. So here's the breakdown in terms of marketing under the social media umbrella, and then we have the educational institutions. This can include from paid advertising to career fairs and educational programs. The primary alternatives here would be student chapters. So the National Association of Black Journalists Student Chapter, National Society of Black Engineers, and the American Meteorological Society. Unfortunately, none of these meet the direct demand of both for Black students as well as meeting a meteorology. So here's when we step in, filling the void. The competitive advantage, we're not affiliated with an educational institution. So hey, if you wanted to join a student chapter, but your school doesn't have a student chapter, that's where we step in to help. And the on-the-job knowledge directly from meteorology professionals, those who are working in the field, and personalized consultation from a career expert, myself, the founder. Our business administrator joining me on the team is Shanika Robinson, and she has 10 years of experience in biomedical engineering and project management. How do we begin? Well, we need about $5,000 to start things off, but we're going to get some money in return. If a college were to invest this in our program, we're promising a 15% increase in student enrollment. Taking the latest numbers from 2017, that equates to about 4 additional students in your meteorology program. As an in-state student, in-state institution, the school would additionally receive about $34,000, out of state, $156,000 additional dollars for the institution. Thank you guys so much for your time.
All right, we have 3 minutes for Q&A.
So Monique, talk to us about your revenue model. Are the schools paying? It looks like the schools are getting the big benefit in terms of extra students, but talk to us about your revenue model and how that works directly.
Yes. So based on the business model, I'm just going to go back a couple slides here. So the business model, I have the 3 packages. So one of which would be that institution package, which would be able for institutions to benefit directly, where they're getting these workshops for these students, speaking engagements for the students. And then that would then, I'm committing to the 15% commitment that I can help to gain more students into their programs. And therefore, that's when those dollars sort of came in the end, where I'm able to show that the school would be making this additional money by investing into these packages. But also students can do so as well individually, aside from the institution. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, could you go to your value, this is Lee Harris, could you go to your value proposition? And so for the institution, you're talking about having it as recruiting.
Yes.
Correct? Okay,
Yes.
So you're helping recruit, you're saying this, you guys need to be recruiting more minority, into these programs, and this, we will get you good qualified candidates who have been pursuing this through your program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, you mentioned very few Black meteorologists. Janice Dean, I believe, isn't that, she's
Janice Huff. Janice Huff in New York. Is that what you're?
That's who it is. Yes, Janice
That's
Huff
my
in New York.
mentor.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love her.
Okay. And she, yeah, NBC, I believe, isn't she?
WNBC in New York.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Monique, this is Virginia Trinkle. This is really interesting. Is this something that you are, obviously you're getting your graduate degree. Are you hoping to continue down that road doing as a meteorologist? And this is something that you want to do as something on the side, or is this something you want to really turn into more, a more viable business?
I think this would be something I commit to as a viable business, because my goal, being a meteorologist with my experience I've had for my bachelor's, I don't need a master's degree to work on television based on what I've done. But my goal was, when I had a master's degree, I want to make my way back to the educational realm of things. And that's my long-term goal. So this is something that I'm working towards developing for the long term for myself, because I think the education is the root of it all, and there's no point of me having all the knowledge I have if I can't share it with others. So
got it. So you want to really equip and put more people back into the flow to end up with more opportunity, and these students can see more people like themselves also.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Hey, I've got a quick question. This is Jason Henderson. Can you go back to your budget, the startup cost, I guess it is? So is this just year one, or to launch it? How do we perpetuate this and keep it going year after year? I see $5,000, which looks like a very low realistic number, but how do we keep this thing going?
Yes, this was my initial sort of baseline number to start things off. As of course, with the demand and the growth of this, it's going to require way more, but just to really jump things off and get this started with, this is what I've done. The panel discussions I've hosted in the virtual space, I've been doing that out of pocket, and sort of the lighting and everything I said, this is my setup that I've created, and I've done this out of pocket. And so I think that the commitment I've done with this, I would say roughly about $300 with this, so I can make money work. That's all I do. I always make stuff work with what I have. But of course, in the future, I'm going to continuously be seeking on additional monetary, money, so that I can continue to make this grow.
That'll have to be our last question. Thank you, Monique. Great job.
Thanks, Monique.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monique.
Okay. Next up, we're going to have Duke's Farm Co. She's going to be joining in just a moment.
This is complicated. Okay. Hey, I'm Alex Waldrop. I am the creative mind and marketing specialist behind Duke's Farm Company. Duke's Farm Company is where I want to promote sustainable agriculture by providing high quality processing, taking food from local farms all the way to your fork. Duke's Farm Company, there's a huge problem that it's trying to solve, and that is that in Colbert County, Alabama, where I'm from, we don't know where our food's coming from. We have no local processing, so we outsource to Florence Frozen Meats, that is shown on the yellow dot on the map. And my county is also home to a nearly 40,000 acre wildlife management area. So in the winter months, it is flooded with deer hunters, again, having to drive the 50 minutes to Florence Frozen Meats. And if you ask them today to process this deer for you, they would tell you your wait time is 2 years. So the solution that Duke's Farm Company will offer is that we are locally sourced. So the cattle you'll see driving down the highway in the pasture could be the ones on your plate in a few weeks. And then we're also going to be seasonally correct. So we're not going to process deer in the summer because that's not the season for that. So that gives us the advantage to offer premium meats year round because of this differentiation. So how it works, there will be 3 purchasing options. There will be in-store single selections and boxes, subscription boxes, and then custom processing packages. The 3 shipping options are in-store pickup and then local and mail delivery. And those 2 will look something like a HelloFresh box that's insulated with the coolers. And then our overall brand atmosphere, I really want to drive home that I am super big on customer service. I want to cultivate knowledgeable customers. I don't want them showing up to Duke's and not understand why it's important for them to shop there instead of at Walmart. Then our financials. This is the price range for our boxes. They range from $75 to $250, and that's just kind of your baseline ground beef all the way to your brisket, roast, and then steaks. And then the subscription boxes range kind of the same way in packing style. And then the deer processing ranges from $50 to $150, and that is based off of customer preferences and the weight of the deer. And overall, this is like a large operation, so I'm kind of looking for outside investors so we can do a phased approach to kind of minimize these startup costs. And then our marketing, so we have 3 distinct customer segments: farmers and gardeners, families desiring clean food, and then deer hunters in need of processing. And I want all 3 of those segments to understand that our in-store and online presence run seamlessly together. We're very family oriented. And then because we're family oriented, we have 2 strategic relationships that are family friends. One of them is a current USDA meat inspector, and then the other one is the county extension officer, and he has direct ties to the Sweet Grown Alabama, and that'll be a very vital alliance for Duke's Farm Company in the future. And then our competitive advantage is that we are locally owned and everyone loves to support local. And then we also have a strategic location. So I found this commercial building that's not being used for anything right now. And it cut the drive time from Freedom Hills to a processing company if we put it here in more than half. So it's 21 minutes versus 50 minutes. And then due to the chronic waste disease regulations, Alabama is not allowed to transport deer in and out of the state, whether they're dead or alive. So anybody from the red line, which is the state line, has to come directly to us because we will be the closest one between there and the next county. And then there's no current direct competition in our county, so I feel like we have a good leg to stand on. So thank you for your time.
All right, great job. And you'll have, judges now have 3 minutes for Q&A.
Alex, this is Lee Harris. Question I have on the boxes, is that similar to something like an Omaha Steaks where, they'll package it up and everything. They're going to send you a box that's going to have, 6 ribeyes in it, something along that line?
Yes. So I found a company, the one that I could find that was like most closely related in that area is called Salt Creek Farms. It's in Kansas. And that's kind of where the box description got a little more detailed for me for it because I could see it, but I didn't know how to put it into words. And she does like a sampler's box and steak boxes and things like that.
Hey, Alex, this is Virginia. I was just wondering, that area, do you have any idea of kind of what the overall population in the area that would be served? And have you done any surveys or any inquiries to see, is that something that people want and would pay for to have, as opposed to, going to a local, whatever the local grocer, is that something that they would want as far as, having everything done there?
I haven't put out any like official surveys or anything like that, but just based off talking with people in the area, because we have kind of like the quad cities going on around where in the Shoals area. And so based off of their needs and stuff and just hearing like my parents' friends or my friends and then everybody talking about what they wish they had, this tends to be something that keeps coming up, but no one's doing it. And I was like, okay, I've been passionate about it.
Hey, I've got a quick question. This is Jason Henderson. So you said the price range was like $75 to $250. Is that monthly, quarterly, annually? I mean, tell me about the frequency on that.
So with the 75 to 250 boxes, they can be in the subscription, but you can also walk into the store and buy those. And so it'll depend on just what kind of cuts you want. The $75 box will be roughly 10 pounds of, say, ground beef, just kind of like the lower level. And then the more expensive they go, you can add brisket, roast, special steaks, anything like that.
So what are there any regulatory concerns or inspection concerns? I could see this in processing your own animals, but, or your own deer, but in terms of resale or that, are there any regulatory or inspection issues to be able to do that legally?
That is where one of my strategic relationships comes in. My family friend that is a USDA meat inspector, I'm going to go to him and get kind of like an outline of everything I have to have and things that he suggests you go more premium on, and then also set aside money for like any sort of permits and things like that I'll have to have, because I know there's going to be a long list of those. But it's feasible. It's nothing that's just saying no.
Okay, and that'll have to be all the time for questions. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a short break while we get our next presenter here. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, folks, welcome back. Again, we are in the middle of the business concept competition as part of Startup Summit 2021. We have heard some great pitches already tonight, and we're moving right along with our schedule. Next up, we're going to have Watch and Learn ESL. The team is going to present their business shortly. Ladies, when you're ready, take it away.
Okay.
Most online English learning platforms are too expensive for the customer and do not provide an in-depth experience to help people reach their full potential. WatchLearn ESL solves this problem by offering a cost-effective alternative learning experience that puts the student first. We offer many products and services that, that help students grasp a full understanding of the English language. But you may be asking, how does this work?
Well, Watch and Learn ESL works by providing a cost-effective alternative to traditional brick-and-mortar language schools and provides an in-depth learning experience. Unlike conventional online language learning platforms, our students will have the freedom to choose when, where, and how they learn English.
We begin by offering main courses, specialty courses, textbooks, workbooks, and private tutoring. Our main courses are taught in a classroom setting so that students are not learning random information at random times. With each hour-long video, students will learn the most basic rules to the most advanced rules in the English language. And at the end of each course, students will have a robust understanding of English and have the tools they need to continue their learning.
In our specialty courses, we offer 20-minute long videos that teach the student unique circumstances and situations that are not taught in a brick-and-mortar environment. While our competitors also offer this, they fall short in remembering who their product is for. In each course, we provide many videos that focus on a multitude of scenarios. This gives the student knowledge of how the everyday English speaker speaks. With our textbooks and workbooks we provide, students will follow along with our videos and practice what they learn every day. Our company also offers free learning opportunities to those that can not otherwise afford to learn. Every Saturday, we will hold an hour-long class that anyone can join. All worksheets for this class are also free to the student.
A question many people ask is, if your courses and products are as cheap as you say, how are you guys even going to make money? Well, the answer is simple. We own and create everything that is produced. Monthly, it costs our business about $350 just to stay open. This is the same as 10 monthly students. But what does that mean?
Well, we offer 4 main courses at $35 each course. Students will have access to all the videos associated with each course. While taking a course, they will be able to buy the textbook and workbook with that course. We will also advertise to students that want to just learn specific things. Maybe they're traveling to an English-speaking country and need to learn the basic phrasings and answers. For only $5 a month, they will have access to all the videos in the Travel English course. What about the students that do not want to purchase the entire course, but only a few videos? That is an option as well. For only $3, they can rent each video for 48-hour periods at a time. Our goal for the next business year is to have 1,000 students subscribe to at least one main course per month. That is a business profit of $34,650 per month. This money can then be invested back into our business and begin to go after a global market because we want to reach worldwide. Our growth potential is unlimited. This is over 60% of the world's population that does not speak English. We have to get the word out.
Our sales and marketing strategy is to create a strong online presence. The world is moving online, and our company will aim to match its pace and then be ahead of the curve. While establishing our online presence, we will also be reaching out to local communities and other online English learning communities. For one, I've been talking to my current tutoring students and other businesses to gather momentum. We have created a following in New Orleans, Louisiana, as well as cities all over Brazil. We will continue to grow and change our business by listening to our students and adjusting in a constantly changing world. This is a huge reason why we're different and better than the competition. So many online platforms forget that their students and their communities are what make them what they are. We founded this company to provide everyone a fair shot at learning English. After teaching English to a worldwide audience for almost 2 years, we've learned what it truly means to be in the business. We are committed and passionate to serve our local communities and our worldwide communities so that everyone, no matter their background or age, has the opportunity to learn English in the best way possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Virginia. I just have a quick question. So how much do the videos cost to make?
Currently, it is completely self-sufficient. And what I mean by that is we personally already own many of the equipments that we need to produce videos. So right now, they're honestly free to make for us.
So it's just your time.
Correct. It's just our time.
Gotcha.
Hey, this is Jason. I've got a quick question. So is your value proposition that you just charge just a monthly fee versus a per class or per course? I think I saw on the slide there.
Yes, we offer per class, per course, per video. There's many different options for students. Let me go back to that slide. So as you can, this is just some of what we offer, and I apologize for the misspelling, but we offer many different things. We offer main courses, specialty courses that all are either rentable, pay per month, and the private tutoring, which is not on here, you can pay per session, or you can pay a monthly fee or weekly fee.
This is Lee Harris. Are the textbooks, workbooks, those sources, are they available to anybody to use? In other words, are they common to the industry and y'all are just incorporating them into your model, or do you prepare those?
We prepare these. This is something that our company makes ourselves so that we can sell them directly, through our own company, or we have, publishing through Amazon as well, so that anybody can buy it, they can purchase it through our company, and it can be used with our own platform. So it's made for us, basically.
So those aren't necessarily a physical book, don't have to be necessarily a physical book, but could they be an electronic book as well?
Yes, there will be physical books and electronic books.
Okay.
The electronic books would be cheaper than the physical, so we just wanted to provide that option as well.
Yeah, okay, good deal.
What are
And
your?
did I hear you say that you're currently doing this, like even for 2 years of work? I mean, is this,
Yes.
are you currently charging and everything, or?
I have been doing private tutoring for over 2 years now, and it's been going very well, which is what inspired us to make a proper business for it. And we wanted to offer more than just private tutoring. So that's why we created the courses, created the textbooks, but we do and are currently offering private tutoring as we speak.
What are y'all's background? Are y'all majoring in education or anything, or?
Yes, I am majoring in secondary English education, but I'm with a different school than my partner, Shania. She's with your school.
Yeah, I'm with Mississippi State.
Yes.
I am an electrical engineer, but I do have a background in marketing.
Okay.
And how many videos do you currently have?
Currently, right now in the editing process, I would say we have about 5. They do take quite a long time to edit, but we are planning to fully publish that later this year, about fall.
Okay.
I don't have any other questions.
Well, then thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And letting us
Thank
speak.
you. Well done.
Thank you.
Right on time. Great job. All right. Next up, last but not least, we have Love Light Studio. Sarah, when you're ready, feel free to share and take it away.
Hello, everyone. One second. So, Love Light Studio. This, as we all know, we all are living in a pandemic. We all are, especially in some countries like Spain and countries in Europe, we've been through a lockdown, very tough lockdown, where we've been through a lot of emotions, a lot of time for ourselves, a lot of emotions. And we just, a lot of times we needed a solution. We have a lot of problems right now. We have compromised health and self-confidence. we're dealing through a lot of stress and panic disorders, more anxiety and depression than ever before, very big rates of all these mental illnesses. We also struggle a lot with fear of failure and fear of the unknown. This is something that I think we're all experiencing in this pandemic, especially now even more than before, but before we were experiencing it also. Also, other problems are that with this COVID, we were going through changes in our lifestyle. We were having more time home. We were having less social connections, and we just had to adapt. We have fear of seeing what's going on in our lives. Other problems that we are experiencing, not only workers and people like students, workers, also athletes have been going through a very tough time because they kind of lost their personality. They were not able to do their profession because they just didn't have the ability to be able to play their sport or compete in their sport. That can create for athletes. I've seen many cases of a lot of loss of identity, fear of failure, and a lot of times also overtraining stress. In this situation where they couldn't practice or they couldn't train, they felt a lot of stress for not being able to do that. I bring a solution to this problem, which is there's a need, which is the balance between professional and personal life. There's a solution that I've been through. This solution is a journey of self-discovery and well-being, not just performance on the court, but also outside of the court. My target market is going to be athletes, elite performance. I'm going to work with non-athletes, but my main focus is going to be athletes just because I was one, and I think I can have the empathy to be able to know what they're going through and put myself in their shoes. I'm going to give them tools to manage their emotions better on and off the field. I think in the sports performance, in the sports industry, people tend to just look for solutions to perform better on the court, but not find a balance between on the court and outside of the court performance. I want to really help people and impact them to find their own way to take care of themselves, as I said, on and off the court, and balance their personal and professional life. One of the different solutions that I found myself that helped me, that I want to show others and give them these tools, are 5 of them. Those are yoga, meditation, coaching sessions, breath work, and creation of habits. This is basically like seeing the person as a holistic person and seeing all areas of the person as equally important. These tools can help you be a lot in the present moment, can help you manage the emotions better on and off the court, can help you manage stress, anxiety. So these tools are going to be used online and in person as well. And I'm just going to give these tools to the clients and to my target for them to discover what is their own way, what is their own path to figure out the emotions on and off the court. So I'm going to really treat the person individually and I'm going to have these services, but not use all of them with one person, maybe use just whatever that person needs. One quote that I really like, that it's really important in my business, is breathe and let go. I think this is, vital, very important for athletes to do inside and off the court, to breathe and let go of emotions, of stress, anxiety. The uniqueness I have is that I am an athlete myself. I've been through a lot of these problems that my target market is going through. I found my way out of these emotions through yoga, meditation, breath work, and all these tools. So I really want to have the passion, and I really want to help these athletes find their own way and their own path towards some better inner peace and discover themselves.
I'm sorry, that will have to be time. We got to switch to Q&A now. So we have 3 minutes for Q&A.
Well, tell us about your business model real quick.
Yeah, my business model is going to be, I'm going to set up an app for them to find their own journey. Well, I'm going to create content. I'm also going to collaborate with different brands, and I'm going to do personalized programs for each athlete, individualized.
So primarily your headquarters, you're going to be primarily online. Is that correct? So you can reach out beyond, Mississippi State, et cetera, correct?
Yeah, correct. I'm trying to do it globally.
Okay. So you're providing them sources, where in your location can you go have yoga classes, or where can you, in other words, you're the source of where they can find these things. Is that correct?
Yes, I think I'm like, in me, they're gonna find tools that they're gonna be able to apply themselves. They don't need a specific space to do it. They can do it in their own comfort of their homes or their gyms or the place where they practice and train. But in me, they have some tools that I can provide for them to be able, if they can use it as help in their journey.
How are you going to monetize this?
Sorry, how am I gonna what?
Monetize it, make money, charge, a fee structure?
Well, one of the ways is going to be the creation of the app, where they're going to have content, and that's going to be a subscription. And then the personalized programs with the coaching journeys is going to be a pack, where it's going to be at least 3 months of a subscription and a journey. For them to see results, at least has to be 3 months, and they're going to pay a pack for that. And then some collaboration with other brands.
So essentially it's going to be kind of app based, and they'll essentially subscribe for the use in the app, and that's how you'll correspond.
Yeah, with the app, and then also personalized programs. So the coaching sessions would be one-on-one. It wouldn't be through the app. The app is a little bit more to get to more people and a little bit less personalized. Then the coaching sessions are completely one-on-one.
What's your startup cost?
Right now, it's not, I mean, I obviously need a very good marketing communication company. It's right now at $10,000, $12,000. I don't really need more than that right now, but.
Do you already have an app designed, or this is all in theory?
No, I don't, yeah. It's in theory. I need an investment for that.
No, I understand.
All right, and that will be all the time for questions. Sarah, wonderful job.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, folks. This concludes our business concept pitches tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to break off the judges into the judging room, and they're going to make the final decision on dollars tonight for our 4 pitches that we have. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Bear with us. Thank you. Okay, folks, judging on people's choice, don't forget you have just a few minutes left. We have 2 more minutes for the people's choice voting. Go ahead and get your vote online. Go to our website. You'll find the link. Cast your ballot for your favorite people's choice. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining us for the Business Concept Competition of Startup Summit 2021. Our judges just finished deliberating 4 fantastic pitches. And before we announce the winners, we're going to do 2 things. First, we're going to thank our sponsors again, BankTel Systems, Reed Food Technology, Industry Services, and our alumnus, Sean Hunter, as well as countless others who make the entrepreneurship programs at Mississippi State possible. Thank you all for your support. Next up, I'm going to let the judges share a little bit about overall feedback that they heard from the different pitches and ways they think they can improve. We'll start with Mr. Jason Henderson. Jason.
Hey, thank you. I just had a couple of quick thoughts. I minored in English in college, just really kind of watched the misspelled words. I know it may be trivial or something small, but there was a couple that we noticed on there, and really clearly defined how you're going to monetize it and sustain your idea or your business. So those are really kind of the 2 thoughts that I had. Watch the grammar and then just really clearly define the money part of it.
Okay, and Virginia, how about you?
Yeah, thank you everybody for participating. This is really fun. I think the one thing I want to share back, and maybe it relates more to going forward from here than even presentations, but it would be included, is I think it's super important to really just have a great idea of your market. So I would say survey, talk to people. I mean, you got to get a really good idea. If your idea is going to be viable, you got to figure out if you're going to have enough people to pay for it. So I definitely think, the more you can do in the realm of just survey and getting that data is always helpful. So good luck to everybody.
Lee, how about you?
Well, and I'm gonna go off what Jason and Virginia were talking about. One is I do come from the accounting background, and focusing on the revenue, understanding what all your costs are, and communicating that. And then as far as the markets go, is it people? Is it institutions? Where is, to your point, Virginia, what is your target there? And, where are you going to make the most hay while the sun shines? So, I mean, really focus on that. And, I've enjoyed doing this. Thank you.
Thanks, Lee. Tony?
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I think this is a lot of fun. I loved hearing these. I was particularly impressed. We would always talk about trying to have a broad approach at the concept stage to search out what we might call death threats, the things that could really kill your business. And we don't want anyone to fail, but if you're going to fail, fail fast and fail cheap, right? So look for those things early on that could potentially kill the business. And I loved how the teams had that kind of broad approach. And we can't, Virginia mentioned, but you can't overemphasize enough how much those customer interactions are important. And it was great to hear about customer interactions, understand the market, but I can't emphasize enough that it's never too early to talk to potential customers. And it was great to see that the teams had already been thinking about that.
Outstanding. Okay. Now the moment all the teams are, of course, waiting for, and we're going to let our judges share the winners. The first award that we're going to award tonight is our People's Choice. We had tons of votes come in, well over 150 come in for the People's Choice voting. So Virginia, would you announce our People's Choice winner tonight?
I'd be happy to. The 2021 People's Choice Award for the business concept goes to Duke's Farm Co. So congratulations to you and everybody in your county that called in and wants this thing to move forward. So
Thank you.
Great job. Great job.
Congratulations, Alex. All right, Mr. Jason Henderson is going to take our 3rd place award tonight.
All righty. Again, thanks for all the teams for participating. I know it's a little nerve-wracking. A lot of work goes into it, but our 3rd place winner tonight is going to be Duke's Farm Company. So it's going to be Alex again. So Alex, you came in with a little more money in 3rd place.
Thank you.
All right, and for 2nd place, Mr. Lee Harris is going to announce our winner tonight.
Our winner tonight, for 2nd place, Monique with Chasing Rainbows. really liked the concept, Monique. Congratulations. I like the fact that you looked for a very specific need and how you could go about meeting that need. Really focus on your market, decide who you want to go after as far as your, revenue. But congratulations.
All right. And of course, all the pitches are fantastic, but we have to pick a winner. And I'm going to let Mr. Tony Jeff share our winner tonight of the Business Concept Division.
Thank you, Erica. We had lots and lots of great discussion about all the companies. Really exciting and enjoyed being a part of this. But picked as the winner tonight, Watch and Learn. And congratulations to Naomi and Shania. I think in particular, the focus on customers, the conversion from the private tutoring into this business meant that there was just a history of dealing with customers. And everyone nodded their heads and said how great that was, that the real interactions were there and that you had a lot to build on from knowing exactly what the customers wanted. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, great job.
Congratulations to everybody for winning and for presenting tonight, because by presenting alone, you're already a winner. You're already taking a step ahead of what so many people have the fear of doing. So don't give up, keep going. The numbers of the competition, it's just fun. It's all about taking the next step. Thank you, judges. We appreciate your time tonight and your input, which we couldn't do it without your great decision-making here. Folks, stay with us. At 7:15, we start the new Product 1 division. You can stay right on this live stream and we'll go into it shortly. Thanks again for joining, and Startup 2021 will continue here in a bit.
Great to meet y'all.
Thanks, Eric. Nice to meet you.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here. Take care.
Take care.
Thank y'all. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, folks. Stephen, can you hear me?
I can. Hey, Eric.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. I can hear you well.
Loud and clear.
Okay, folks, good evening. Welcome to the third competition of Startup Summit 2021, where we've had more than 46 teams apply across different divisions with ideas and great startup companies being formed here at Mississippi State University. We have an exciting group of presenters tonight, as well as some fantastic judges who have the tough decision of determining who wins first, second, and third place prize tonight. Don't forget as well, we have People's Choice. You can find the link under the live stream description. Be sure to go in there. You can vote as many times as you like. So vote for your favorite team tonight for the chance for them to win $250 as well. So to kick us off tonight, just as a reminder, this is New Product One division. We will have teams. These are teams that are working on a scalable based business based on a product idea that hopefully they've showed some traction on. We think you're going to enjoy what you see. But first, we're going to introduce our judges tonight who are going to share a little bit about themselves. So, Mr. Stephen Buehler, would you kick us off?
Sure. Hey, Eric, and hey, everybody. Congrats on being involved in this competition. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to showcase your ideas and I'm sure all of your hard work. So my name is Stephen Buehler. I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee. Went to Mississippi State quite a few years ago. I won't give you the dates just to not age or embarrass myself, but have worked in the investment field for a number of years and have been involved with Eric and some of the other startup teams that have come through the E-Center, and excited to see what you guys are presenting tonight.
Thank you, Stephen. Next up, we have Mr. John Walters.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is John Walters. Again, congratulations on being involved with the pitch competition. As a budding entrepreneur, I will tell you the regrets you will have are the chances you didn't take versus the chances that you actually took. So this will be a great learning experience for everyone. I've been involved in the software industry since graduating from Mississippi State with undergraduate in marketing and master's in finance. A business partner and I co-founded a software company, Periscope Holdings, back in 1999, which really dates me. But we do procurement software for state and local governments, and I've been excited to be part of the ECAB group for a couple of years now. So I'm looking forward to seeing the pitches that we have tonight.
Thanks, John. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Hagen Walker.
Thanks, Eric. My name's Hagen Walker. I'm a 2015 graduate from Mississippi State that studied electrical engineering. My co-founder and I started Glow. We make little light up ice cubes and children's sensory toys, and we're based right down here in downtown Starkville. So like you, in 2015, I went through Startup Summit. It was called E-Week back then. And that was really what was the catalyst for us starting our company. And now today we have 22 employees and have sold over 4 million products in 38 countries. So, good luck today. And we're looking forward to seeing y'all's pitches.
Thanks, Hagen. And last but not least, we have our fourth judge, Mr. Neil Milet. Neil, would you tell us a little bit about yourself? Neil, you are muted.
Apologies. Hi, I'm Neil. Nice to see everybody. Coming to you from Indiana. It's a bit colder up here than I think it is down in the glorious South. But a farmer, and I've been fortunate to invent some things. Our farms actually put out a bunch of innovations, from a new combine to a bunch of other industrial items, and I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship and really how it can bring people together. So looking forward to seeing all of the pitches and meeting everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Appreciate you all joining us tonight, taking time to help us sort out who the top teams are tonight. So as a reminder to the audience that's listening, the teams presenting have 5 minutes to pitch, and then we'll have 3 minutes of Q&A. Through the course. Feel free to jump in on YouTube comment section during the live stream. We have time. We'll try to field any questions on there. Otherwise, we're going to give priority, of course, to our judges who have to make the decisions tonight. So without further ado, we have our first team up, a fixer. Ladies, when you're ready, take it away.
Good evening. My name is Denise Adair, and I am the Chief Executive Officer.
My name is Brittany Brown, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
And Rachel Adair, who is our Chief Financial Officer, couldn't be here with us this evening. Tonight, we would like to introduce you to the Affixer. It is a container storage system that retrofits to any existing container and lid that a consumer has in their cabinet. It is also dishwasher and microwave safe.
So our problem started when we started our interviewing our customers, which actually are potential customers if you want to look at it that way. There are roughly, we interviewed about 100 people, and in those about 68% have experienced losing a container, losing a lid, and or losing both. And roughly about 77% ended up losing those containers. They just threw them out. They said they didn't want to fool it anymore. It was a waste of money, and it's a hassle, and it caused them a lot of anxiety.
As Brittany said, it causes a lot of anxiety. It causes a stressful home environment. It comes to mind that when I finish cooking a great dinner and get ready to put it away, and I open the cabinet and things fall out and I cannot find anything to put a lid and container together. The other thing that I think of is when I get ready to pack my lunch to save a little money when I go to work and I can't find containers that work. That makes me stressed.
So through our research, we discovered one solution. And now keep in mind that it's still in works. This is not a finished product yet. However, we created a product, or we're working on a product, that physically attaches to the container by the lid and by the container itself. And actually, there are no need for you to buy a new container until you have worn and tore, your entire set. But yeah, pretty much this is our works.
So how the Affixer works. We actually have a working prototype here on the desk. The first Affixer attaches to the lid. The second Affixer attaches to the base. And the Bungee Buddy attaches the two together. Now the Bungee Buddy changes sizes depending on the size of your container. It can fit small, medium, and large containers.
So while doing our research, the people that we interviewed, we gave them a list of prices. And we were like, how would you feel with this prototype? What would you pay for it in store if it came into a package of 6? Surprisingly, all of our people did not mind paying a high price of $20. So for us, we configured our prices based on that. So when we start, it's going to be $1.87 per Affixer itself, which is per these little things itself. And it's going to come in a pack of 6. They're going to be a variety. They're going to be color-coded according to size. One color for small, one color for large, one color for medium. And they're going to be a pack of 6. Therefore, this is going to sell for $20. This brings our total cost to $11.22. If we're retailing this for $20, our profit is $8.78, or just roughly 44%. Therefore, if we go to retail this, we hope to work with big retailers such as Walmart, maybe even an online retailer such as Amazon, which we could personally do ourselves, or possibly even bring up a business website that offers a 24/7 customer support, a variety for you to go in and pick it yourself and customize what you want in your package, also maybe discounts and an email service.
And I need to remind you that it is actually just a prototype. So if we actually went to mass production, we assume that our profit margin is going to be much greater. So as you can see in our slide, this woman is stressed out. Her containers and her lids are not working together. The image of the drawer shows another example of what doesn't work, and the cabinet. So you can tell that our target market is essentially anyone that has leftovers in their cabinet. But one thing that we did discover is that our clients are a little more affluent than what we anticipated. Because what's going to happen is people that care about their containers, they're going to be willing to spend the money on the Affixer and put it in their cabinet with their nicer containers. It's not going to be a college student who just throws some leftovers in the back of their refrigerator and lets mold grow on them. So our market has money to spend.
Ultimately, we have no competition. Our competition is carousels, attachers, integrated lids such as that. There is literally no competition that exists that physically attaches to the container and to the lid through our research.
And one thing that's unique about our product is our competitors complement our product because they take the affixer and they take the mainstays and Everlast Pyrex, Mr. Lid containers, and they affix the affixer to those containers. So we complement our competitors.
Ultimately, once again, we have no competition.
Okay, and that will have to be time. Now we're going to turn it over to our judges for 3 minutes of Q&A.
Relax, it's fixed. Any questions?
Hey guys, nice pitch. This is Steven. Do you have any patent over this design or use case?
A patent. Currently, no, we do not have a patent. However, we are in the process of researching it to get that going for us.
We would like I think it's called a transitional patent. We are researching that as well. Did we do that great of a job that no one has any questions?
Can I see the prototype again there?
Of course. This is going to be a smaller one and step closer.
Yeah, it's hard to like.
So it will interlock into this, attached to the side.
Okay.
This is small, and they will be stacked. Like this is just an example. They will be a stacked variety of these small all together.
And the affixers themselves are actually 3D printed parts. And this is actually a scaled up version. It wouldn't be this size. It would be a smaller size. That was just so y'all could see it.
Okay. And then do you see going back to the manufacturers like Ziploc, et cetera? Would you want to incorporate that into a particular product, or do you see it more as a standalone sale?
Well, I mean, that's one thing that, I mean, again, it is a prototype. We're still kind of in brainstorming, but what's unique to ours is that it would be used with, Pyrex, Tupperware, Glad, store brand containers. So I know we're open for pretty much anything. If Tupperware came and said, we want to finance you, we'd be willing to do it.
So you'd permanently affix that to a lid, right? A lid and a container.
Yes, sir. You affix it to the lid and the base, and then the bungee goes in between.
Yeah. And then you can detach them, or are they permanently stuck, the two bound together forever?
Actually, so the two affixers, they stay in place. And like I said earlier, they're dishwasher and microwave safe. And if you feel so inclined, you can take the bungee off and store it elsewhere. Again, prototype. Any other questions?
All right. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate your pitch tonight.
Go Hoosiers. I'm from Indiana.
Good job.
Okay. Next up, we're going to have the all ears bump. We're going to give them just a second to get set up.
Okay. I'm not ready for this. Where am I? I don't know what it looks like. Oh, there we go.
All right, ladies, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Hi, I'm Abigail Nichols, a fashion design and product development student.
And I'm Cece Turner, also a fashion design and product development student. And we're here today to introduce our idea of the All Ears Bump Band, which is a maternity band that allows expecting mothers to listen to and monitor their baby's heartbeat, while also enhancing the baby's ability to hear voice frequencies and music. Okay, so did you know that the number of words a child hears before the age of 4 directly correlates to the child's eventual IQ, and this is known as the 30 million word gap. So between the ages of 0 and 3, the child's brain develops more than 1 million neural connections every second, according to the Harvard Center on the Developing Child. So this also plays into the old saying that listening to Mozart makes your baby smarter, which has some scientific fact behind it. It's really just music in general helps stimulate brain activity, which leads to neural connections later in life and a higher IQ. And we actually interviewed an OBGYN about our idea, and she said that mothers would be interested in our product because many expecting mothers worry for their baby's health in utero as they cannot monitor it 24/7 on their own.
Our product idea. So we first started with meeting with a biomedical engineer department professor who specializes in sensors, embedding, automation, and signal processing. And when we interviewed him, we discovered that he recommended some types of microphones and speakers that we will use, such as micro electromechanical systems, which is also known as MEMS speakers. So our band will be constructed of a soft 95 cotton knit and 5% spandex for the perfect stretch. It will have microphones embedded within to listen and observe your baby's heart rate and the baby's movement overall. And then we have small embedded speakers, which will give you a way to play music and talk to your baby, which correlates to increasing the baby's IQ. So we will be using the micro electromechanical systems speakers. And then we also plan to utilize a Bluetooth connection to a mobile device to assist us with transmitting the information from the band to the mother to where she can visibly see it a lot easier. And so we actually figured out that doctors use a machine now that will help vibrate and send a haptic to the baby to kind of see the variability in the baby's heart rate. We also found that we found that Velcro fasteners would be the best way for personal adjustment. And then we also plan for this to be a disposability aspect, to be disposable after 1 pregnancy. So our customer experience will start once the mother purchases the item and she puts it on. It'll be very easy to strap on herself using the Velcro to personally adjust it. Also, once the mother has the band on, she'll transmit the baby's heart rate through multiple microphones located within the band that I just mentioned to a mobile app, allowing for immediate monitoring. And then while using the app, the mother will also be able to talk and read to her baby, as well as play music to the baby to stimulate the brain activity through the embedded speakers.
Okay, and this is our rough financial model. So we are in the stages of developing a prototype. We're working on the pattern work right now. So according to our estimates, these are the costs for our raw materials, for the labor to put the actual band together, and then how much we were hoping to sell it for. So as you can see, we just have our raw materials, so our fabric, which would be the cotton and spandex knit, and then the speakers, microphones, motherboard, the technical aspects associated with the band, as well as the Velcro that Abigail talked about. Yes, so and then the labor, that would be, we estimated how long it will take a sewer or a cutter to actually create the sewn or cut product, and the average hourly wage, and so that's why it's broken down into 90 cents, $2, $1. Okay, so our target customer is obviously expecting mothers, but it's also researchers looking to study the effects of speaking to your baby and like playing music to it while in utero. And then people will know about it because we plan to utilize influencers like who maybe have kids and like focus on like that aspect of life in their different online social medias. And then doctor's offices, magazines, like just where you'd go to get checkups and like your doctor.
Okay, ladies, that'll have to be time. We're going to go into 3 minutes of Q&A.
Okay, thanks.
I have a question. So where is the data that you're gathering through your app going? Are you bound to follow HIPAA data compliance protocol, or is that something you've thought about yet, maybe?
We're gonna double check, but as far as we know, since it's like an over-the-counter, like not technically like a medical product, then it won't have to comply with like the medical documentations like that, since it will be like just for it's technically going to be a consumer product rather than an official medical product.
Okay, thanks.
Who are your competitors?
So our biggest competitors, it would be like the Dopplers that they have now, which is just like a tool that you can like place on like the stomach to listen to the baby's heartbeat, but it doesn't have any of the other aspects of like being able to like play music or actuate to the baby. And it's also like less comfortable, like you couldn't leave it on. It's like something that you do, it's like a procedure, or not a procedure, but like it's like a process, whereas like the band you can like leave on and like for 30 minutes, an hour, however long you want to, and like get a more prolonged reading.
And the Dopplers actually are basically like a at-home ultrasound that you would perform on yourself. And then our band would be more of a use for trying to develop the baby's brain and trying to stimulate the development, as well as utilizing Bluetooth and transmitting data back and forth from the band to the mobile app. And then it also gives the mother, it's kind of like a two-way technology.
And the thought is that the mom would wear this for a short period each day, like, somewhere in the house type thing.
Yes, so you could wear it like just to monitor the baby's heart in general, or we were actually thinking even to have it overnight, like in case something happened, like with the heart rate, like you could do the actuating to see if the heart rate changes, which is a sign that the baby's okay. So it's kind of like however long you want to.
Gotcha. And any thoughts on how this would be powered or how long it might last?
Yes, so we were talking to one of the professors here, and he recommended we make it like the life of a pregnancy, like the 9 months, like one pregnancy, so that it could maybe even be battery powered. That way, like it helps for the disposability aspect of it, but also then like you wouldn't have to like charge it or anything, or something like smaller where you could recharge it a few times, but not like for forever.
All right, and that'll have to be our last question. Thank you, ladies. Nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our third presenter tonight is Mr. Carson Sigbera, who's going to present in just a moment. And Carson, when you're ready, take it away.
All right, good evening, folks. I hope you're having a great night so far. My name is Carson Sigbera. I'm a senior mechanical engineering student here at Mississippi State, and this evening I will be presenting to you guys Bellissimo Processo, translated in English to beautiful process. All right, so the problem or opportunity that I am looking to seize with my product stems from one of the largest commodities in the world, coffee. So the problem is that a lever press or manual espresso machines are few and far between for the consumer to be able to purchase. There's a very luxurious end, and then there's the entry-level model for the consumer. And when we dive into the coffee market and we look at specifically espresso machines and we look at the compound annual growth revenue or rate through the next 7 years, we see that there will be a 6% increase over that time, which actually surpasses the coffee market as a whole. And this is really looking at China and Asian markets and as they transition from tea to more of a coffee preference. So my solution to adhere to the market is to create an affordable manual espresso brewer that creates cafe quality espresso. I'm going to do this through a calculated and engineered design that controls the thermal loss through the machine and is relatively easy to clean, easy to perform maintenance, and is very durable. It will last somebody their entire lifetime. So how exactly does this work? Well, I actually have a prototype with me. Unfortunately, that we are doing this virtually. You guys aren't able to see it in person, but I do have some figures on the screen. So to produce espresso, you need 3 main ingredients. You need finely ground coffee, boiling hot water, and most importantly, 9 bar worth of pressure. That is what makes espresso espresso. So there in figure 1, you can see this open boiler system that I have. The coffee grounds would be in the bottom attached to a portafilter inside of a basket. You will then pour boiling hot water up on top. Step 2, we're going to lift that lever up and that water is going to channel through the piston valve assembly and start the brewing process. Now here's where the fun comes in for the consumer. They will press down with 15 to 20 pounds worth of force, which is by design, and it will create that wonderful full-bodied espresso in the cup below. Depending on the consumer, they will brew through all of that water. It is truly up to their preference. So the financial model for this machine, initially we have the first prototype, and that shows a very conservative gross margin of 35%. Note that this is with single unit ordering, and when bulk orders do occur and when parts become standardized, I would like to see this gross margin go well above 50%. Then moving into a future model that would be a more innovative model, which would have a double-walled brewing chamber made of aluminum, allowing to cut back on some of the material costs of the actual machine. Looking at a growth model in 2023, if we were to sell 100 units, that would be between $13,000 and $20,000 net revenue. Now, moving into who the consumer is, we really want to understand who is drinking espresso. 32% of millennials drink espresso every single day. And with this move towards a at-home work environment, now millennials are looking to make that espresso at their home. And I believe my product will fit right into that realm, especially with millennials being very hands-on and willing to accept new technology into their daily lives. The marketing will be through an Instagram and Facebook campaign initially, but diving deep into the coffee and espresso forums to really understand what the consumer wants out of a product, to be that much more tied to our consumer and build that relationship. Now, Of course, in all markets, there is competition, and the lever press market is no different. And now that I have thoroughly looked through the market and I've realized the upper end and the lower end, I believe that I can use the flaws of the entry-level machines to build my own machine that can surpass those entry-level ones while also taking characteristics from those high-level machines and building a very durable, clean, easy to maintain machine that is overall very elegant and produces that cafe quality, wrapping all of that up and providing it to the consumer at a very competitive cost. And here are my references for the statistics that I used throughout my presentation. I hope that you guys enjoyed.
Thank you. Do you mind going back to your cost slide for a second?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm just looking through. Have you talked with any potential manufacturers or anything to kind of validate some of the pricing here?
So I went through a third-party machinist for some of the parts to be built. And with the products, these are relatively in line with the quotes that I got from them. When I really want to go and mass manufacture this, I would want to look for a local machinist, as the third-party ones tend to charge more as it's being shipped from out of the country most of the time.
And just a quick follow-up to that, it doesn't look like you have any labor costs in here. Have you thought about that at all?
Yes, so initially I left out the labor because I wasn't entirely sure as to how long it would take to put it together, but as a lot of the parts are already becoming like they're machined and then shipped to me to be put together or to box up, I feel as if I need to get a handle of what the materials look like as they come in to come up with a good labor cost. But that is a very good point that I should probably consider in building this financial model.
With your prototype, have you tested how it tastes? Like, is there a superior taste component to this?
So far, I have not built a fully operational prototype. The prototype that I have, just for cost purposes, has been made of a 3D printed PLA and is not designed or intended to actually drink the espresso, but it was just to make sure that my models were going in the right direction. But the next step is to get one-off manufactured parts so that I can actually taste it and have others review the espresso that comes from the machine.
Do you mind going back to your 3D render of it?
Oh, 3D render, yes.
Didn't you have a picture? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How is the middle part supported?
Yeah, so this is a stripped down version of it. The middle part, there will actually be a piece that comes from that upright stance and will connect to the brewing chamber.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a question for you, just, looking at different ones that are on Amazon. With the form factor, have you done any patent research to see if you might be stepping on some toes there?
Yeah, I've looked into patents and I've seen that there have been some patents out there. There's one from 2007, but it seems to be abandoned now. But I definitely should do more research into that realm to make sure I don't run into legal troubles moving forward. Yes.
Okay, Carson, thank you. That will have to be our last question. Great job.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay, next up in the new Product One division, we have Tristan Shaw and his team who will be presenting on their company. So gentlemen, when you're ready, share your screen.
Chances sharing the slideshow.
Give me 1 second. It went down as soon as I tried to pull it up. I had it open this whole time.
No problem.
I've literally been sitting here.
Well, to start without the slideshow, just to kind of introduce, I'm Tristan Shaw. I'm the founder. I'm a senior at electrical engineering at Mississippi State currently. Chance is working. He's not a student. He's on the coast. We're both from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Came to state in 2017. I'm a personal trainer. I have 2 different certifications. I've been a personal trainer for almost 6 years now. And we have a website / mobile app idea called First Step to Fitness. It's going to be a app in the late terms, early, it's going to be a website. We have the idea of bringing people into gyms that fit their goals and atmospheres. So we have, I think the stat was 50% of people that walk into a gym and sign up are gone within 6 months. And a lot of that is due to they not have a connection with maybe their personal trainer they go to. They don't have a positive atmosphere. They don't enjoy going to the gym. They don't have the mentality of like, get to go to the gym today. They just, I want to lose weight or I want to look better, and they go. Most people that go to gyms that are smaller in atmosphere is what they enjoy. But when you're in an area and you want to get into the gym and you don't know the right step, all you know is a Google search. And a Google search doesn't care if you actually go to the gym. They just care if you looked it up. So everybody knows a Planet Fitness, and maybe they go in there and it's not for them. Going to this website would show all the gyms in the area. It would conduct a survey when they start and give them a list of all the small gyms in the area and the big gyms that we think would fit them best. And that would let them engage with the owners and representatives of the gym, back-to-back chat, give them an idea if they want to try this out. And this can range from very small gyms to large gyms, martial art gyms. A lot of people go to kickboxing classes or some type of MMA, anything like that. And we're going to start with a website and just gyms. We plan to transition that into also reaching out to personal trainers, because as a trainer, it's very hard to just get people to come to you. Usually they just come to your gym and get assigned to you unless you meet someone in person. That often can get a lot of people with a trainer or a client that they don't really connect with. That's really important as a trainer, is that your athletes and your clients are very comfortable around you. They enjoy hanging out with you. They see it more as a social pastime than, okay, I have to do this today so I can feel better about myself or so I can enjoy my weekend, something of those lines. And after you bring in that, we have now personal trainers and gyms and areas reaching out and being able to connect with people that want to get into fitness and maintain what they're after. Then we would want to reach out to also promoting fitness events, be it expos, competitions. There's a lot of local CrossFit competitions, the big industry, maybe bodybuilding shows people like to attend or compete in. Or also having supplement ads, helping people get knowledge of what the proper supplements they should be having, putting in their body are. I believe the stat we saw was a 5% increase in membership at a gym can range from 25 to 95% increase in revenue. And that's a very wide range because your large gyms aren't going to benefit very much from a small increase. But many of the gyms we're working with have less than 100 members. So if we brought 5 people, we would eclipse that number. And that's one of the higher percentages of increased revenue. And the goal would be, once this is starting to roll, we would allow gyms and personal trainers to be listed on our website for free. And then if they want to manage their own page, as if it was a social media page, and be able to chat back and forth with potential consumers, they would pay a monthly fee. And the consumers would be free of the service. The website or the app would be completely free to them. But gyms or personal trainers that want to market themselves or their business would pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee. The same with people promoting an event for their fitness background or supplements wanting to advertise on our website. Chance, you got anything to add to that?
It looks like his connection dropped out.
Okay, his connection. Okay, my apologies for that. So he had the other half of that, but so this is going to help people do, get to the gym and stay there. Chance, he battled obesity growing up. He was never exposed to a lot of fitness. And that changed his life when he did. So, being able to do that for someone else is something he's very passionate about. And as a trainer, and I'm very passionate about being a trainer, being able to have a higher quality of connection with my athletes, being able to get people into gyms, and then being able to help small gyms that don't really advertise well, aren't well known. You might live 2 miles from it and you drive 30 minutes to get to a Planet Fitness because you don't know it and they don't have money to advertise. So giving this is a very affordable way for small gyms or newer personal trainers, even veterans in the fitness community, to advertise and get their word out and expand their outreach. That'll end for the presentation.
Okay. Hey, way to dive in and take it even with the tech issues. So in the world of Zoom, that gets an honorable mention. Nice job. Judges, we'll give it 3 minutes for Q&A.
Yeah. So bravo, Tristan, for being very adaptable during your presentation. Do you have thoughts around, I guess, well, a couple questions. Number one, do you guys have a background in terms of website development to be able to actually turn this into a workable solution? And then secondly, what you laid out, I mean, it's such a broad and far-reaching solution that's sort of your end state picture. Do you have thoughts around having it be more targeted for a certain type of gym at the outset, or even a certain geography to start with? Because scale is difficult in what it sounds like is sort of a user-generated source of content on this website.
Yes, so I am an electrical engineering student. I've got to take a lot of software type classes, so I have a little bit of experience with some type of code, and I've also made a lot of contacts that are experienced in it that I have spoken to about helping me learn to do it, or paying them a fee to do it, or we've discussed giving them on, like bringing them on board to help us build this. And we plan to start in the Mississippi Gulf Coast area, being that we're both from there. And we've already talked to multiple gym owners, and they have expressed interest in our idea and give us permission to use their gyms in the early development of our website. We plan to cover from Bay St. Louis to Ocean Springs type area on the coast. We already are familiar with many gyms, the gym that I work at, the gyms that I have went to in my years on the coast. And we're targeting mostly small gyms of less than 100 members, or just lesser known gyms. Like, you have a lot of CrossFit gyms, you have a lot of kickboxing gyms on the coast. We have a lot of gyms that we call like old school iron. They have a very old school feel that you don't get at Planet Fitness. They actually will discourage you from lifting too much weight. They're doing deadlifts and whatnot. And these gyms that people really want, they don't know about, encourage that.
Do you have an idea at this point what you would charge the gyms to list with you?
We discussed about $50 a month, or a yearly fee that would equate to about $35 to $40 a month, because most of these gyms memberships are $50 to $100 a month. So if we brought them 2 members that stayed, they would be covering that cost. So everything past that would be profit. They would still be making profit off of the investment they made in this.
What are your ideas on initial traction for or attracting customers? Not the gyms, but the
consumer,
people that want to work out.
Yeah. So our original plan is, especially over the summer, that when I will be back home, he's kind of dabbling in it right now that he is on the coast, is we're going to people that we know. And we're going to ask them to use their, social medias. That we have quite a few friends that are, I would guess, say locally famous, to kind of get our idea out and gauge interest themselves, and also boots on the ground, face to face. We're going to go gym to gym, or we're going to find people. What's your story? Do you know people that want to get into fitness, or maybe someone that came to your gym is not enjoying it? Everybody that we can just find, maybe stopping them at a store and discussing this idea with them, what their interest in fitness has been. And that is our original, it's a real boots on the ground approach.
All right. Thank you, Tristan. Good job again. That'll be all the time for questions. Thank you. Okay, next up we have MicroStem 2D.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Hendry Baltar. You can call me Mr. Baltar. I am a mechanical engineering graduate from Mississippi State University, and I write computer programs for fun. This is MicroSTEM 2D. So based on what I've researched, compared to other countries, the United States STEM achievements are lower. And if you look at it 4 years ago, a large percentage of American adults find STEM either too boring or too challenging. And only 13% of the workforce went towards STEM. I see this as an issue where we are underrepresenting what STEM actually is in our education. So my solution is to leverage that engagement and encourage students towards STEM. So what the solution is initially a website with a library of STEM course topics where you have various games and study tools. For example, the image on the left here is the concept idea of a physics calculator, and the one on the right is an engineering mini game. In terms of development, I'm actually working on an engineering mechanics simulator, which if you don't know what that is, it's just the science behind things that do not move, right? And I'm writing the code for the computation system. So since this is mainly focused, since this would initially start with college courses, right? So our initial customers would be college freshmen to sophomores since they're already exposed to these topics. And how I plan to get this product in front of them is by building a presence online, responding to relative topics on forums, linking our website, of course, and going through the same process in social media campaigns, emailing these students individually, or just talking to them in person. And as the product grows, we will expand towards postgraduates, high school, teachers, and school administrations. We could even have a YouTube channel and rank high on Google and app stores. So what would it be like for these students? Well, let's say you're taking Physics 1 and you're a freshman, right? And you realize that, especially here at Mississippi State, that the course is really challenging and you're stuck on a homework problem. So you go to what I call build mode. You log in, you go to build mode, and you would look for that topic type in the library and work on the calculator simulation and learn from the data as you interact with it. And let's say that same student has an exam coming up, right? You go back to the home page, you go to the test option, and you select from the library of exam topics, and you will be given a series of mini games to try to have a different way of studying for an exam. So in terms of how this would, how we would profit from this, let's say I had a small launch team, right? And in a few months, we had 1,000 users. Most of our revenue, most of our revenue would come from ads and the small percent of premium subscribers. And the labor cost was just having a website on the internet. And of course, as it grows, so there are opportunities to expand on revenue and of course, labor. So the way I consider, in terms of competition, I consider this a familiar yet new market. So think of the iPhone, right? It is a cell phone, music player, and a computer all-in-one device. Each category with their own competition. To me, this is no different, right? We offer studying opportunities, just like Chegg and Khan Academy do, but we offer the unique feature of mini games and simulations. We offer an engineering design tool, just like AutoCAD, SolidWorks, but ours is truncated for fundamental topics so that students could just click and drag and understand the concepts. And we would have a computation system just like MATLAB, but instead of writing code, having to learn code for an output, you would use a graphic input for a script output. So for me, I consider this a stepping stone towards changing the way we represent STEM. Any questions?
Okay, and we'll do 3 minutes for Q&A.
Again, what was your price point for a student?
Sorry?
What was your price point for a student?
Price?
Price.
So it would be, okay, so I would want this to have free content, right? So we would have premium subscribers and free subscribers and premium subscribers. So like 2% of 1,000 users, that's like 200 users. This is based on just saying $7.99 a month per subscriber.
So would the schools compensate you for that, or do you envision parents or families actually doing that?
So that's more, I haven't done research on that because I see that as more of like as an expansion level. Starting out, this would just be a website. So like once we grow and then we can think about licensing, like having licensing or just having specific products.
But then do you program all of the content that's on the website?
Currently, yes. It's not, it's still in development, so there's nothing out there yet, but yeah, I write all of the program so far.
Do you envision having like a hardware presence, like something they interact with in person aside from just virtually at some point?
Yeah, I do see this having a lot of room and opportunity for other products. Like I said, like this is called MicroStem 2D, right? Like imagine if there was another product, maybe it's by the same name, maybe not, but think of maybe like 5 or more years down the road, we'd have something that's new, that's never even been heard of today.
Just putting it out there, this reminds me, at least the game side of it, a lot of simple physics. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but it might be worth checking out.
I haven't. Are there any other questions?
Okay, if there are no more questions, nice work. Appreciate your presentation tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, next up, we're gonna go to Moose Dog. Shane, when you're ready, share your screen.
Great. Thanks, Eric. You guys can see this okay? Good.
We got it. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you about Moose Dog. Now, before I tell you about the team, the brand, or the product, right, I want to tell you a little bit about the problem. So it might be unbeknownst to you, but second to oil, the apparel and textile industry is the second largest polluter in the world. And right now, about 32% of all apparel pollution is shoe-based. While we make about 24 billion pairs of shoes each year, 4.16 million tons are thrown away per year. The current environmental impact, so right now, about 30% of all materials used for shoe upper production are wasted, scrap, and discarded. And normal polyester, which is used in the majority of these shoe uppers, can take up to 200 years to biodegrade. Also, the washing of textiles releases about 500,000 tons of microfibers in the ocean per year. And if anyone's feeling thirsty, that's about 50 billion plastic bottles. So a little bit about the industry. In 2019, the global fitness industry exceeded about $96 billion. Now, obviously with COVID in 2020, the industry declined about by 48%. But if there's even just a 20% increase in the market going forward, that's a $19.2 billion opportunity to capitalize on. So a little bit about the team. So my name's Shane O'Toole. I'm the CEO and current COO of Moose Dog. I've got a bachelor's degree in polymer and color chemistry from the College of Textiles at North Carolina State University, where I was also fortunate enough to play football and baseball there. Besides that, I've got industry experience across all levels of supply chain, also included direct brand experience at Under Armour and Carhartt. I'm a current distance MBA student with Mississippi State University, so Hail State. And then my partner, Kevin Pagden, is our Chief Design Officer. Kevin's got a bachelor's degree in fine arts from the Maryland Institute of College of Art, also some study abroad workshops out in the Netherlands with the Willem de Kooning Academy. He also has industry experience at Under Armour, Dickies, Terra, and Kodiak. So a little bit about our brand. Moose Dog is a brand that's built on athlete performance that utilizes advanced manufacturing methods to reduce or completely eliminate waste, and also combine sustainable eco materials that will help with biodegradation over time. So a little bit about our products. So our primary product is our Eco Atlas lifting shoe. The shoe is actually knit for the upper using a seamless 3D knitting technology that leaves zero scrap or waste. It's also comprised of filament yarns, so it eliminates microfiber shedding. And those filament yarns are made from something called BioFuse Plus. That's actually a biodegradable yarn that we'll touch base on later. In addition to that, the midsole and the outsole are all 3D printed, meaning that there is zero scrap or waste, and anything that is not used in the 3D printing process can then be recycled for future prints. The way that we are using and utilizing the shoe, everything is assembled in the United States from international components. So this also allows the customer to engage in designing their own shoe from a color palette, so they can actually take part in the brand experience and feel like they're involved. Also, we utilize 100% cotton shoelaces, and we also use cork and cotton insoles that are biodegradable for the inside of the shoe. Our next product we call our Sunrise hat. So everything in this hat is engineered to be the most eco-friendly hat in the market. The hat is made of entirely 100% cotton, including the embroidered patch and all of the sewing threads. There's no top button to aid in the biodegradation process. And then the visor bill itself is made from a global recycled standard certified recycled plastic. Our final product, we've got one of our lifting straps. It's constructed of a very durable 4 centimeter wide, 100% cotton webbing. And the actual logo label itself is made from a permanent woven label that's designed to stand up to multiple uses and launders. But at the same time, we're trying to give the best performance possible. So it's engineered with a raised texture in the webbing to allow for better grip. So a little bit about the data. So BioFuse Plus, which is used in all of our footwear, it's a polyester that's actually made from recycled bottles itself, and it's engineered to biodegrade in an anaerobic landfill. Whereas normal polyester can take 200 years, BioFuse Plus will degrade 87% in 380 days. Also in wastewater, it'll degrade about 17% in under a year, whereas normal polyester will only degrade 4%. Cotton itself is a naturally bio-derived material and can degrade between 1 and 5, can degrade completely between 1 and 5 months in marine or landfill environments. So a little bit about our financials. So for the EcoAtlas lifting shoe, our cost of goods made is about $55 all in. Our cost of goods sold, which includes our markup, overhead, labor, profit markup, inventory shrink, and any quality defects we have is about $82.59. And our retail price is about $175. With this, we're over a 50% margin. That's also excluding the 15% markup we include in our cost of goods sold. Same thing for the Sunrise hat and the lifting straps. We are well over 50% for each product that we're selling. Our distribution, we're looking at direct-to-consumer distribution. We're going to accomplish this through several multimedia advertising avenues, as well as having a unique website that actually allows customers to take part in designing their own shoe. We also have some strategic partnerships and sponsorships with some U.S. Olympic athletes that we have contacts with, as well as some market influencers and sustainability leaders. We're looking to do some small brand collaborations with some other high priority brands while we can still convey the same sustainability message.
Okay, and that'll have to be time. So judges, we have 3 minutes for questions.
Can you hint a little bit more or tell us a little bit more about the materials? Specifically, you mentioned something called BioFuse. Is that something that you've reached out and talked to another company about that's an offering that you can just buy off the shelf, or is this more of a process that you would have to be, get implemented in a production setting, or how does that work?
No, good question. So BioFuse is actually a commercially available polyester yarn sold through a company called Paradise Textiles. And what we do is we actually have our upper manufacturer buy that yarn to knit into our shoe uppers.
Have you identified manufacturers at this point?
Yeah, so right now we've got 2 different types of printing. One happens in Shenzhen, the other one happens in Hangzhou. And then we also have a supplier out of Pakistan that does our hats and our lifting straps.
Excellent. Excellent. So on the 3D printing, so you'll do the final assembly in the US at a cost-effective site somewhere. Have you looked at sites thus far?
Yes, correct. So we've looked at hiring a few temps, and then what we would do is obviously lease some very small warehouse space. The good thing for us is we do not have to actually assemble these shoes until the orders are placed. Therefore, our inventory stays liquid, and we have a proprietary chemical dip that we put to impart color, durability, and traction to each piece. So therefore, we can make 500 pieces act like it's over 120,000 SKUs.
So you'll be making the stock on the uppers and lowers, and then doing final assembly based on orders?
Correct, in the United States.
Okay.
What do you see as your biggest, first marketing, PR bullets? I mean, since you played, obviously, a couple sports, do you have access to some athletes and some people who can really help you launch that brand?
Yeah, so thankfully I do have some good friends still, and some are now actually Olympic powerlifters that we would utilize the shoe with. Some are either in the NFL or Major League Baseball. We would target them first, as well as some of the regional competitions along the East Coast. And then what we would look to do is essentially distribute out from there when it comes to market influencers.
I know your game day operations folks at NC State well, so that's good athletes down there. Or up there, yes, yeah.
Hopefully you don't ask them about me. They might not be too fond of me.
Okay.
Is there any sacrifice in the durability or quality of performance of the shoes, like having them be so economically or environmentally friendly?
No, that's also a great question. So the issue with a lot of these larger brands and what they do is when they're doing injection molding or roto molding or things along that nature, they need that for the very large mass volume. And then they're also so tied into the investments for those shoes and those large SKUs, it's very hard for them to pivot. Since we're using the exact same materials with a TPU and a 3D printed nylon, which is the exact same thing that they'll use for a lot of these hard and soft sole components, there's no sacrifice in performance. It's essentially all about how we assemble the shoe together.
Okay, and that'll have to be our last question.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the time, guys. Really enjoying this.
Okay, and our second to last pitch tonight is going to be the Black Spot. And so we're going to get her pitch loaded and come back in just a moment. And whenever you're ready, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Quintaria Russell, and I am the founder and CEO of the Black Spot. This will be an app that will change business to consumer relationship forever. So you may ask, what do I mean change business to consumer relationship forever? Well, there is a problem with today with social media and businesses. Businesses have no engagement. Social media has poor algorithms, and it's not targeting the correct audience needed for those who have businesses, especially small businesses. They're being overlooked. And also small businesses are not able to set up websites. It's difficult for them. And they're also not reaching enough followers on social media. So I put together a survey, and I received 98 responses. And out of those responses, 75% prefer shopping from small and big businesses, while 22% voted that they prefer shopping from small businesses. And with this being said, there 64% found that they have a hard time finding businesses or brands in their locations, and they also have a hard time finding the exact product that they need online. And also 68% prefer shopping online or in store. And I asked everyone, would they prefer an online platform that allowed them to shop and find potential business, and 81% said yes, and then 17% said maybe. So for the Black Spot, for business customers, the Black Spot, for business users, the Black Spot will increase followers by setting up an algorithm that will allow businesses and customers to reach their target in their area. It will have a simpler layout for businesses to set up their online payments without having to create a difficult website. And also, it will offer a metric system that will monitor the successes of each business e-commerce. For business customers, the Black Spot will make it easier for customers to find different businesses in their area. And it will allow them to purchase their items directly from this app, and also allow them to build their own personal brands and portfolios, such as photographers, videographers, anyone who is in need of a business brand. So you may ask me, how will I do this app? I will employ MSU students and alumni engineers to form the app that will cater to the algorithm and search engine optimization and metric system needed for businesses to be more successful and have more customers. I will also employ business students that will help market this app and help better the app. My business model and financial hypotheticals is based off of subscription and percentage based. So if we were basing it off of Mississippi, it would be a subscription base of $5.99 a month. And we have 500 Black-owned businesses in Mississippi. So that would be $35,940 a year. If we're basing it off of the United States and the 2 million Black-owned businesses in the United States, it will be it'll be 143.7 million a year, just so I can give y'all the correct number. And based off of customers, they'll be percentage based and they'll be taxed 1% of what customers pay for on each app. So my sales strategy is the buyer's journey. It's awareness, consideration, and decision making. So small businesses will become aware of the issues that were reaching more customers, and customers will become aware of the difficulty to find new businesses. Consideration, they'll consider the Black spot because it will increase customer sales and it will make it easier for customers to find businesses. In the decision making, they'll see that the Black spot has other businesses, how they're increasing their sales, and they will decide that this app can help them. My marketing strategy, I will use search engine optimization and app store optimization. It will help improve the visibility through the app store and the internet. Social media marketing, I will use paid user acquisition to use ads through different social media platforms. I will also use influencers who use YouTube and social media to market this app, as well as the typical email and word of mouth. With word of mouth, I will set up different pop-up shops and talk about this app and advertise it to small business in different areas. So you may ask, why the Black spot? Well, you should ask yourself, why not the Black spot? This app will give jobs to MSU students, and it will also leave a lasting influence on all business to consumer relationships for the years to come. Thank you.
Question for you. You've got 500 businesses in Mississippi, $5.99 a month. What's your anticipated penetration level? 100% gets you to 35,000, but what's your realistic expectation for penetration?
My realistic expectation right now would be at least 100 to 200, and that is probably around, I did the math, it will probably be around 12,000. And that's for like the first year for my realistic, but I feel like that my app will get there into those 500 and possibly the 2 million that we have in the United States.
Where are you in the development or the thought process on use cases for your algorithms?
I have been in contact with different engineers from Mississippi State, and we're all like just working on figuring out how we can fix the algorithms and how we'll be able to create this app to be the best, and it'll serve strictly businesses. I'm sorry. Did that answer your question?
Yes. And last question from me, and I'll shut up, is do you see it more of a business consumer or a business to business play?
I would say a little bit of both, honestly, because business to business, I would say they'll be receiving business through my app because they'll get more customers. And with customers, through social media, just from my own experience, it's hard to find different businesses in my area or even in different areas that I go to. And I feel like for customers, this app will be easier for them to find those businesses in their area.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and our last pitch this evening is going to be with Triton Aerospace. We'll give them a moment to set up their presentation.
Please let us know if you can view the screen and the presentation.
We can. Your mic is a little hot, but it should correct.
Is it fine now?
Yep, that's
Okay.
much better.
All right. Should we start?
We are seeing your presenter mode.
Okay. Share it. Still in presence. Share screen one. Okay.
Nope, it's still scenting.
I'm sorry, we're just having.
No problem. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, guys, take it away.
All right. So hello, everyone. We are Triton Aerospace, and we are trying to get long-endurance modular hydrogen fuel cell-powered UAVs built for commercial and military applications. I'm Shubham, and this is Aditya. Have you ever wondered how the future of last-mile delivery looks like? With automation being aggressively pushed for supply chain, drone deliveries are the next frontier. According to Value's report, by 2030, the autonomous last-mile delivery market size is predicted to reach $40 billion. The predicted drone industry growth by 2024 for military and defense is 15% per year, for disaster management, 16% per year. However, there are certain challenges that need to be addressed to use all the benefits of unmanned aerial vehicles. Consumer UAVs run on lithium-ion battery power, which provides a limited flight time of under 40 minutes and extended charge times. Also, most off-the-shelf drones are not customizable, and customers have to use standard softwares for a multitude of mission flight conditions and needs. Triton Aerospace provides a one-stop solution for modular hydrogen fuel cell-powered UAVs with extended range. Fuel cells running on hydrogen have higher energy-to-mass ratio than battery-based systems and can be refueled in minutes. Triton Aerospace provides an environment-friendly solution for extending the range and operational ceiling by up to 3 times and decreasing the charge times by up to 20 times with heavier payloads in a simple, cost-effective, robust, and lightweight package. Also, each Triton drone is custom fit with a sensor package and a subscription-based software package tailored for the unique needs of each customer.
So let's talk about the product overview. Here we have the first model that we are working on, and we'll talk about more details on that. But what we are trying to bring on the table is hardware solution where we are going to manufacture the chassis and also carbon fiber based fuel tanks. We are also looking into different sensor configurations. So the standard sensor that we are trying to include on our drones are going to be a 4K camera, but also there are options where you can upgrade to a lighter thermal imaging or an infrared camera, depending on what is needed by the customer. There are also software solutions that we are working on, so we are trying to give out a complete package. We are working on Triton UI, which is going to be a flight controller / data acquisition software, where you can also see the flight live feed view and also take pictures and videos. We're also working on cloud data storage system and also cloud streaming system. And we have already talked about different software packages, which will go with different sensors like LiDAR and thermal imaging. Talking about our first two prototype that we're working on is Eagle Light and Eagle Heavy. So if you look at all the details such as flight times, which is going to be 2 hours, which is almost 3 times as traditional lithium-ion batteries, almost every other specification are the same. But where it differs, the light versus heavy is the capacity of carrying the load, which is 12 pounds versus 21 pounds. And it comes from the fact that we're using a high-powered power plant on the Eagle Heavy system versus Eagle Light system. And also we are carrying more fuel, 300 grams versus 200 grams. But apart from that, all the other flight criteria is going to remain the same.
For the financial model, we have priced each Eagle Light to be at $6,500 and Eagle Heavy to be at $8,500. With all the materials and fabrications accounted for, we get about an approximate 53 to 54% gross margin. We do have to accommodate labor costs, but since we are building it ourselves and all the equipment for building it is owned by us right now, we are kind of taking it off the cost for the first year. We also have the software side, the subscription side of it. So a choice of two software from our list of softwares will give you at $199 per month. Any additional software on top of the two will be $49 per month. Operational costs, we have estimated it to be $25,000 per year, and that should include the server maintenance for the licenses of the softwares and also the equipment maintenance that will be used for fabrication and manufacturing. Projected, we see that 2023 will be our first full year in operation and with a net revenue of $67,000 with a target of 10 units of sale.
Let's talk about the market that we are trying to target. So a long endurance drone has a lot of market potential. So we're looking into logistics for delivery infrastructure. So something like a bridge inspection or a pipeline inspection, disaster management, where we can monitor wildfire and things like that, where we need a longer, where we need the drone to be in the air for a longer time and also fly at higher ceiling. Some other application can be military slash defense, where we can look into different logistics, agriculture, and surveillance.
And to get into the different kinds of these programs, or to let us be known to these different kind of programs, what we are trying to do is participate in SBIR research programs, so that the different government agencies, at least working with them and furthering this technology, they get to know about us and our products and can use it through business fairs and live demonstrations, and through strategic university and industry partnership for case studies.
Okay, guys, that'll have to be time. Perfect timing. So we're going to go into Q&A, 3 minutes for Q&A.
Hey guys, would you say that the most unique aspect of this is the battery itself?
Right now, we would say the total, the software and the battery in together to extend the range and the use of the drones in certain areas. But fuel cells in general can be used in cars and things like that, but we are trying to get it smaller, fit into this drone sort of package that will lift the range by considerable amount to the traditional ones that are out there commercially right now.
So can you, as a drone manufacturer, buy these batteries from someone today, or is this something unique that you guys have developed?
So there are third-party fuel cells available outside. However, the connections that you need for the fuel cells and the software to control the fuel discharge are actually built by us. So we can get third-party fuel cells. In the future, what we want to do is design and develop our own fuel cells, but for the first prototype, we are sourcing it from a third party.
A pivot point there, following on Stephen. I see two opportunities for you there. One is the manufacturer and the production of the drones themselves, and then potentially a modular power plant solution that you could license to other drone manufacturers with an adapter, a set of different adapters, so that you could do bolt-ons to other manufacturers, and then license the software and the fuel cell technology to them. On your SBIR, have you partnered with any federal agencies like USDA or DoD?
So we haven't gotten into an SBIR proposal yet, but personally, I have been working on composite overwrap pressure vessels through a Mississippi State funded project as an SBIR. That is with NASA Langley, and that's how my connections are to get into those sorts of places.
Excellent. So is all of this technology owned and controlled by you guys versus any type of affiliation or ownership by the university?
No, it's all by us.
On the software side, you're doing all the development yourself at this point. I assume there's some runway for development for a product roadmap of other components.
That is true. Right now, we are trying to get, at this point, we are trying to get the chassis US already printed for the first prototype. We are working on the fuel tank itself. For the software side, we are already made headways into the Triton UI. We are just trying to make different APIs for the different sensors that will be used for different customers. So thermal imaging versus LiDAR depth detection, or LiDAR object detection, 3D mapping, things like that. So the APIs are what we are right now at that stage right now to build the APIs.
Are you in process with FAA approvals for the drone itself?
We haven't gotten into that stage yet. We have to completely get the prototype ready to get into the FAA clearance zones.
Okay.
That'll have to be our last question. Thank you all. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Okay, folks, we have just heard 8 pitches as far as the new product 1 division tonight. What happens next is the judges have to go and deliberate and figure out who is the top 3 competitors tonight. To win first place will be $2,500 and continue on to our final round on Friday. Second place, $1,000, and third place, $500. Don't forget, there's a People's Choice Award that is voted on by you, the audience. Be sure to go to our live YouTube link. Check the description to vote. Voting will close at 8:45 p.m., so you have 3 minutes left to vote. So judges, we're going to go into a breakout room so you all can discuss. Teams will put you in a breakout room so you can visit with each other. Folks joining us live, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, folks, it has been a long night listening to some fantastic pitches, and our judges just got done with a very, very tough discussion on which teams are going to be in which slots. So we are going to announce the winners in just a moment. Before we do, again, we have to thank our sponsors that made this entire week possible. We're going to be giving out over $30,000 to encourage student entrepreneurship. It wouldn't happen without BankTel Systems, Mr. Boyce Adams, an alumni from Mississippi State, Industry Services Co., Mr. Sean Hunter, another great alumni of MSU, and finally Tastemaker Foods and Reed Food Technologies down in Jackson, Mr. RJ Reed, and countless others who contribute to the Mississippi State alumni or Mississippi State entrepreneurship program here. So huge thanks to them. Before we announce awards too, I want to give the judges a moment just to give you all some feedback, everybody who presented tonight, and we'll start with Mr. Stephen Buehler.
Hey guys, so Eric, am I going through multiple companies and feedback, or?
Yeah, this is just the broad feedback for all the teams.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, congrats to everybody for all of the work that you've put into your company ideas, and they were all very clever, and a lot of good work is evidenced in what you've put together. So I'll just go through just real quickly. So a fixer, very simple idea, but sometimes simple is great. And so I think that the key here is really making sure that you can get manufacturing and getting the costs down as much as you can. I think, I'll sort of give both sides of the feedback, good and constructive. So constructive feedback would be, you've got to get those price points down, because I think you mentioned, price points of like $20 for sort of a 6-pack. I think that's pretty pricey. When you think about some of the prices of the actual containers themselves, there's going to be a ratio of how much you want to spend on the containers versus like how much do you want to spend on the affixers to keep them together. So I would really focus on that and really trying to get the price point down, and then figuring out how do you sell to maintain and retain the maximum economics for the price points, which I think you're going to achieve online and possibly through Amazon versus having to go to like big box stores in like Walmart and places like that are going to absolutely crush you on price. So, but great job, great idea. Again, simple is sometimes great. And so I think that's something to build on. So all ears bump band, very clever idea. I think one of the things that's very attractive is that you have a very defined target customer. So pregnant mothers who have a very high desire to focus on the development cognitively of their children. And the beauty of that as a target customer is that those customers will pay absolutely anything for a product that they think, even if it's placebo effect. So I'd want to read some of the empirical studies as to whether it actually has an effect, but it may not actually matter. Even if people think that there's a small chance that this could help develop their children's brains in terms of the cognitive ability, they'll pay anything for a product like that. The areas of development, I would say, is just really some of the technical aspects. Also, the judges identified perhaps privacy as one of the areas that you'll want to make sure that you've got very, very tight. But really clever product, a very defined target client, and then focus on some of the technology. Bellissimo, I would say here, really spend some time focusing on your competitors, really focus on what is going to make your product, meaning the espresso itself, taste better. But if you can get it to work, then it's really just a marketing exercise to make sure that you get your product out there and in people's eyes. First step, I would say that this is my own personal view. I think that starting more narrow in terms of your focus, whether that be geographic or, for example, like CrossFit gyms, having a specialization in an area that allows you to really gain some traction and have a better connection to the gyms and the people that are looking for that specific type of gym. Otherwise, it's just such a huge problem to try to solve all at once. But certainly, I think in this day and age, people are very focused on both physical and mental health, just given what we've all gone through as a society. So, hats off for focusing on this industry. Microstem 2D, I think one of the constructive point I would say here is the content creation. Having one person programming this, it's going to be a very, very ambitious process to try to get all that content. But if you can get that network effect, I would almost think about this, think about opening it up as user generated content, because that's going to help you achieve more of a network effect. Moose Dog, I'm going to try to go through. I think I'm taking a little too much time, so sorry, Eric. So Moose Dog, I think really good idea, really good branding, really good design, visually speaking. I think there are competitors in this space, whether it's like Allbirds and many other types of products that are focused on sustainable inputs into their shoes, hats, clothes, etc. But I think that this is a product that was clearly very well researched, and then it's going to become a marketing exercise. I think that as long as the products are good and meet all of the specifications that some of the endorsing athletes put them through in terms of their training, it becomes, can you cleverly market those products into your targeted channels. The Black Spot, I think this is a very timely idea for what you're achieving, which is to promote and highlight African-American owned businesses, which I think is a fantastic ambition. And I think one of the things here is there's going to be a lot of work to gain both the businesses and the users. And like most app-based products, which have an implicit network effect associated with them, it's a little bit of a chicken and egg, right? So the businesses want to see that there are users, the users want to see that there are businesses. And so it becomes a very difficult balancing act to make sure that you can cultivate users both from the business and the consumer side somewhat hand in hand, so that they can feed off of one another. And that's going to take a lot of work. So I would say to make sure that you focus on that. But again, very fantastic mission. Triton Aerospace, last but not least, is a really thoughtful technology. I think that some of the questions that the judges raised were on some of the hydrogen cell technology and some reservations about how achievable that might be. That said, the drone space is huge and it's growing tremendously. And so an ability to increase the flight time is one of the key constraining factors in the drone space, coupled with the ability to manage meaningful payload in terms of weights. So if you can achieve what you're setting out to do in terms of increasing flight times to 2 hours plus, I definitely know that that's usually flight times are like 30 minutes to 45 minutes max. And so if you can achieve that, that would be very significant. The distribution is going to be a huge challenge in addition to some of the technology. I think that you got to focus on the cost to actually develop the technology. I think it's greater than you may be expecting. And then the distribution into what is a very hyper fragmented industry in terms of the horizontal drone market. So those are some of the challenges, and I will wrap it up. But apologies, Eric, I think I went on way too long, but hopefully that's some good feedback for everybody.
No, this is incredible. Thank you so much, Stephen. Great advice. Teams, hope you were taking notes. If not, we'll have it online for you too. Let's go over to Mr. Hagen Walker. Feedback for the teams across the board. And you are muted, sir.
Thanks. I'm just going to give feedback across the board. I just want to say it was great to hear from everyone. A few years ago when I did this, I believe there were only like 4 teams. So this was awesome. Great job to everyone. Yeah, I always love seeing the variety of everything from simple to complex, from easy to hard, and everything in between. So it really is cool, and I think it's a testament to the E-Center to be able to spark so many ideas and really bring everything together. Again, even if you don't advance in this round, keep at it. There are a few awards that we back in the day did not get, and it's one of those things that always made us strive even harder to try again next time to make things better and move forward. So just always take the lesson away of being teachable, knowing that there's always another lesson to learn. There's always something else that can be better, and really try to focus on that as you move forward. So again, thanks so much for everyone that attended tonight, that pitched. We're very grateful to hear all of your pitches, and best of luck.
Thanks, Hagan. Neil, thoughts on the night?
Yeah, I echo what Hagan said. All of you are at different paths of your journey of being entrepreneurs. Some of you are just getting started. Some have really well developed concepts and business models and go-to-market strategies. But what I would encourage everyone to do is really utilize this time when you're still in college and you're still surrounded by so many young peers who are all very passionate about innovation, to really try to learn from each other and not be afraid to speak about the struggles you're going through, whether it's in your concept, your idea, or ask questions, because when you graduate and go to the real world, it's very expensive to pay people to give you this kind of this feedback. And so definitely celebrate where you're at, where you're going, and don't get discouraged if you don't win tonight, for example, because just the fact of pitching, and I remember when I was in college, it was so nerve-wracking, to go up and give a presentation. Just look at the positives and be proud of where you're at right now. So, thank you.
Thanks, Neil. John, thoughts?
Yeah, I would echo congratulations on being part of this process. It's a tremendous learning experience, and having the E-Center, I really wish I'd had that when I was an undergrad and grad student at Mississippi State. The environment and the just the raw brainstorming power that's brought to the table is tremendous. Just a couple of high notes. One is be keenly focused on your market segment that you're trying to pursue. It is, kind of came out in some of Stephen's comments, it's easy to cast a wide net, but it's very difficult to deliver to that wide net. If you can focus and find a particular problem and deliver an MVP, a minimally viable product, get to that MVP so that you can deliver to that segment quickly. Really put some thought into 2 to 3 moves down the chessboard on your go-to-market strategy, how you're going to pivot to scale. It's one thing to be able to create 1, create 2, create 3, but what happens when you get an order for 1,000? How are you going to deliver? How are you going to pivot to produce on that, and start thinking about that now? Also be cognizant of intellectual property, that which you create. And also, almost as importantly, making sure that you're not stepping on someone else's intellectual property. Nothing was worse than getting 9/10 of the way to the market and then finding out I can't take it to market because somebody already owns it. And then also be looking about for partner opportunities, either complementary or supplemental products that you can either combine your product with, or create a licensed product that you can deliver to market that has very low labor on your part, but provides residual or making money while you sleep opportunities. But great job, everyone.
Thank you, John, and judges and folks. It's easy to say thanks to the judges. It sounds like something that every event we're supposed to say, but I want to just point out to you that these judges and many more throughout the competition are here because entrepreneurship's a family. It's tough to start a business, and they recognize, and hopefully you'll recognize, that this is a support structure that's here long-term as well. So take advantage of it, as you heard all the judges say, because they're here for you, and that's part of being part of the Bulldog entrepreneurial family. So thank you, judges. And all the panelists throughout the year, board members, and folks that review pitches. Again, it's truly a support network for all entrepreneurship. The last thoughts before we announce the awards, folks, remember this is fun, right? We're here to just have a fun night in competition. You already are winning because you pitched tonight. And the final advice I give from the e-center is make sure you keep going, because that's where all this rubber meets the road, is keeping going and taking the next step forward. So our judges are going to help us announce it, and we'll start with the People's Choice tonight. We had over 870 votes cast online, which is really cool. So I'm going to turn it over to Hagen Walker to announce our People's Choice winner.
Thanks so much, Eric. Yeah, 876 votes, if I heard right earlier. So that's absolutely incredible. And People's Choice goes to a fixer. Your product was awesome. We loved hearing the pitch. I personally love the simple ideas. You know, I'm over here making light up ice cubes. So sometimes the simple things are the ones that can gain the quickest momentum and get to market. So great job with your pitch, great job with your product, and we look forward to seeing what's next.
Awesome. Thanks, Hagen. Congrats to a fixer. Over to third place. I'm going to turn it over to Stephen Buehler to announce our third place winner.
Well, congrats to everybody. And so without further ado, announcing our third place winner among all the winners that are presenting. Third place goes to the ladies over at All Ears Bump Band. So congrats. As I mentioned, some of the judges' thoughts on your company were that we really enjoyed the very targeted end client that you're focused on, that there's certainly a willingness to pay for the technology that you're looking to build. I think that, again, as mentioned, some of the areas to focus on are making sure that you can deliver on that technology, making sure that you're aware of all the privacy concerns, as was mentioned by some of the judges, making sure that you're aware of all of the intellectual property hurdles that are out there. But really great idea. It looks like you've done a lot of work into the opportunity, and best of luck as you continue to pursue this. And please use the Mississippi State Alumni Network to help you advance your efforts. Congrats.
Congratulations. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, for the second place, Neil Milet is going to share our second place winner.
I just can't echo enough how wonderful everybody did tonight. And I just love how positive of an ecosystem Eric has built. I go a lot of places all over the country, and there's nobody who has as much empathy as he does. So he's definitely a diamond in the rough. So second place we determined is going to go to Moose Dog. Congratulations, Shane, on your wonderful presentation. What we really felt was most inspiring about your particular startup was the fact you've really fused design with sustainability. And I think, obviously, as we discussed, sustainability is the name of the game now. I mean, whether you're in the food industry, the ag business like I am, or in the apparel sports business. Really impressed with your level of detail and how you could really articulate and develop your concept and the relationships with all the suppliers and all the intricate components that go into that product. So congratulations again.
Awesome. Congrats, team. Thank you, Neil. And finally, for our first place position, I'm going to turn it over to John Walters.
Again, thank you everyone for participating tonight. And it's difficult to choose, who comes out on top. But all of you, whether you receive something tonight or not, continue on, because you're in a very special ecosystem at Mississippi State where you can nurture these ideas. And we've even seen in the ECAB, we've seen organizations pitch and then reorganize and pivot and come back with something, and then all of a sudden they knock it out of the park. There's several examples of them, of those where I've seen over the course of time. I think, Eric, we've had some folks that pitched and pivot, and all of a sudden they came out with a great idea, and the Bulldog Angel Network oversubscribed a funding event for them. So keep at it. So with that said, tonight's top competitor is Triton Aerospace. Congratulations, gentlemen. Some of the things that brought you out on top, one, a very focused solution for a very focused set of issues in the market. As Stephen had noted, the highly fragmented horizontal market for drones, and the current need and current pain in the market of being able to increase flight time to over 2 hours, and then being able to cut recharge time by a very large factor has significant value in the market space. I know some people that are doing some drone stuff, and the recharge and the flight time is a huge issue for them all. So we thought you had a very focused product. You're moving very quickly toward an MVP. You've got a number of things going on from the standpoint of a product roadmap for multiple products, product extensions, and the ability to create a product set that potentially you could partner with other organizations and provide your product set under a license model. There's also intellectual property components that are coming down the path for you that I think add significant value as well. So great job on the pitch, great job on the deck, and we wish you all the best.
All right, congratulations teams and everybody who presented tonight, as well as our winners. I would be remiss without thanking my incredible team at the E-Center. You don't see most of their work, but they make this all possible, running around behind the scenes, from everything that communication you get to little nuanced details. It would not be possible. I think we have one of the best teams on this campus. I can't thank them enough. To the presenters, Triton Aerospace, congratulations. You're going to go to the grand finale on Friday. And folks, we hope you continue to tune into the other great presentations going on this week. We'll be back tomorrow night live at 5:30, and you'll be able to see Triton Aerospace compete with the other night winners this Friday as well. So check out our website, tune in live. Thank you all for attending tonight, and we'll see you again soon.